All right, Joe Biden's climate czar, climate envoy, John Kerry, was called out for creating his own wind power at the climate change conference in Dubai this weekend. You don't know what I mean by that? You will very soon. So here's the question. Did John Kerry fart during his lecture on emissions and climate at this climate change conference? Watch.
Avoiding responsibility for taking away those things that are killing people on a daily basis. And the reality is that
he definitely farted.
I mean, somebody farted.
There's some sort of emissions.
That was, which I was told, we can't eat meat anymore. We have to get rid of cows because the cows farted.
Cow flatulent tax, the cow tax, and yeah, right, tax him.
That's what I'm saying. If he really cared about the climate change, he would hold it in.
Forever.
That's all I'm saying.
Just bloat and fly off like.
That's all I'm saying. Someone definitely farted.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, I guess the other mics are probably on as they're having this conversation. Maybe it's the lady.
No,
she kind of looks disturbed, I would say.
And the reality is that.
No, she knows it's him.
The guy, yeah.
She did hold up her finger.
She knows it's him.
Yeah, the reaction's great there. I think it has to be Kerry, because the other guy is just like, he doesn't even know what's going on. The woman is clearly, she smelled it.
She's thinking, did that just happen?
I feel like she also is like, I need to make sure everyone knows it wasn't me. I'm going to put my finger up to my nose to indicate that I know it wasn't me.
There is the principle of whoever smelt it dealt it. And so it's possible.
There is.
Why is this not the first time we've had that conversation on this show?
So I don't know.
That's a great point.
It could theoretically be her, but I don't know.
Look, all I'm saying is John Kerry is notoriously a hypocrite when it comes to the climate change agenda.
Yes.
He's flying on private planes while lecturing all of the rest of us for flying on planes at all. He's talking about eliminating cows because they fart too much. So I'm just saying it would be the most likely scenario that it was John Kerry who would be a hypocrite on this particular issue and be the one to pass emissions.
To contaminate the environment.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
I want to play one more clip here. This was another discussion that he had at that summit. And very weird. You know, we talked about all of these Democrats using the term democracy because they want you to think that this is a democracy. They want to intentionally confuse you. Really bizarre statement from John Kerry about democracy here. Watch.
Look, I have to tell you, I'm an inveterate optimist. Who was it who said, or Winston Churchill said that democracy is the worst form of government in the world, except for everything else. Right. And there's a diplomat who...
You say the same about COP as well, actually.
There's a diplomat who came to the United States, and the diplomat from another part of the world, I won't mention where, was asked, what do you think of democracy? And he said, well, democracy is like sex. When it is good, it is very, very good. And when it is bad, it is still quite good.
That's not funny. This is really weird.
I mean, you expect creepy things from the creep show.
Yes. It's very creepy.
Why would...
Sounds like somebody who has a bunch of people in his basement. Sounds like someone who has a
why
dungeon.
did he keep wiping his nose?
I don't know. Cocaine? Is that what you're saying?
That's the typical, coke users are always on.
Was he there at the White House that day?
Aha! Yes, it was Kerry's cocaine.
That's
Plot
the third.
twist.
No, it's
Plot
Kamala
twist.
and
Hunter.
Hunter, and then
That was a big party.
they needed a party, so they needed the third person.
The fact that this guy is flying around lecturing people on climate is just such an embarrassment to this country.
But it's never good. When he shows up, typically, politically, we're up to no good. Something bad is going on. When he features, you can just look in history. When he shows up and he's the spokesperson for this nation, for you, that's your spokesperson on how we feel about climate. I think not so much.
Yeah, so.
We, as you pointed out earlier, don't have a democracy. We have elements of a democracy inside of a constitutional republic. Those are really important distinctions that, as you pointed out earlier, people don't seem to understand, particularly on the left. Democracy is just a word that tests well. That's how they use it. Democracy to them means when they win elections. Look, you can't argue for democracy with this passion when you're trying to literally take your opponent off the ballot in state after state after state after state. That's not the principle of democracy. The principle of democracy is not what happened to George Santos, right? Again, I have no affinity. In fact, I don't know anything about George Santos, but
the process was wrong.
But the process was wrong. Voters put him in. They have an opportunity in less than a year to take him out. There was no reason to do that. Democracy, the founders specifically talked about this. They talked about impeachment as one of the remedies that you can have. But they also talked about, the real remedy is going to be the people. The people are, unless it's really, really egregious and putting the country in danger, I think you could make that argument with some of the scandals we've had in the past. But if it's not that, then let the people decide. That is, I think, the right way to do it.
That's also why they double down on indoctrinating and lying to the people, because the people actually hold the power, and they know. They know the people hold the power. So then you've got to lie to the people. You've got to exploit the media. You've got to turn them into agencies of the woke left.
Yeah.
Because they do actually, if the people would just wake up, not go woke, and realize they actually hold the power to, through a due process, remove these idiots. From Congress to the Senate or their local school board.
Right.
It's possible.
Yeah.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.